Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Grandpa.
Good evening, Grandpa.
Thank you. I'm on my way from Kumasi to Accra. We just passed, I'm told, the Sawam Junction. Is that it? Yes, the Sawam Junction, we are moving. And I don't want to disappoint you, and I have to just try to do so even whilst I'm even in the vehicle. So it's going to be very brief, and then I'm going to give you a written assignment. So that probably I'll plead that we will do a full one on Monday. But before then, just by way of introduction, remember we said the emphasis is going to be on the semen, but the whole course is on andrology. And so if you have a certain idea, concept about what is andrology, before we zoom on to the semen, whatever it is, whether it is the andrology or the semen, there's a certain fundamental knowledge that you have to know. The fundamental is that andrology is all about male fertility, nothing more, nothing less. Male fertility. And of course, a male fertility will now be joined with other aspects to give you, to make it a composite for andrology. So what it means is that andrology covers wider area than just the semen analysis. So by way of definition, of course, I'm sure you know that it's just two words put together, andros and then logy. And they originate from Greek words. So andros, if you want to remember, like a dross, to remove dross, andros. So when people remove dross, I'm sure it's the men, isn't it? It's the men who remove dross. So andros is all about men. And of course, logy, wherever it is the study of. So it's the study of men. Right. Now, when you talk about a human being, the only thing that makes the difference between a man and a woman is the reproductive system. The head, the neck, the whatever, every aspect, could be the same for a man and then a woman. What makes the difference is the male reproductive system. So if you're talking about the study of men, it's not talking about men as in a human being from head to toe. It's just talking about the reproductive system. So it's the study of the reproductive system of the men, and for that matter, the male reproductive system that constitute andrology. So what I'm saying is that even if you don't want to forget andros, just say that people who remove dross, and my ladies will know that they don't remove dross. It is the men who remove the dross, isn't it? So andros is men, and then logy, the study, right? So, and I've said that the study of men does not necessarily mean the human being as a man. It's talking about what is distinct that makes a man a man. It is the male reproductive system. So that's all that we study. That is it. And so before you can study andrology, and for that matter, zoom into the seminology, you need to understand the anatomy, the functions, the physiology, and the pathology, what we call pathophysiology. Because anything which is a system is prone to defects. You know, when we say a system is made up of so many things that is integrating. So when you have so many things integrating, the tendency is that there's going to be a mixed up somewhere. So wherever you have a system, there's a likelihood of a defect. So if those defects, of course, in humans, that become what we call pathological disease conditions. So it is the study of the male reproductive systems, its functions, the disease associated with it, and of course, how to treat them. That's why andrology basically is under medicine, because it moves into treatment. You know, as lab scientists, our preoccupation of the diagnosis and how to provide information to help the clinician to manage the patient and, for that matter, for the treatment. So treatment is not our preoccupation. When we define andrology, treatment is part of it. You don't just study the conditions that affect the male reproductive system and just leave it. How do you treat? That's how I'm saying andrology is typically a subspecialty under medicine. All right. So as lab scientists, we are going to look at when there's a disease condition, how does the lab come in to help? What sort of diagnostic tool, what sort of parameters must we probably try to test to assist the clinician come up with a definitive diagnosis and for that matter for a treatment. And so what I'm saying is that there's no way you can study andrology without understanding the basics of the male reproductive system. So you see that all of us may have done the male reproductive system one way or the other from our first degrees and so forth and so on. In order to do the andrology, you have to do the male reproductive system, the study of it into details. Okay, for example, on the normal circumstance, you just be studying the, let's say, testes. You know about the testes, you know about the vas deferens, you know about the epididymis. That is what you may study on the, let's say, first degree. But with respect to andrology, you have to study that even with testes. What are the cells that make up the testes? What are the, because we are going to look at a reproductive system. And you know that when you talk about a system, you are talking about being made up of organs. When you talk about organs, you talk about being made up of tissues. When you talk about tissues, it's being made up of cells. So you see that you have to study certain unique specific cells. You need to study certain unique specific organs. And then collectively, you can now understand the system. So since I cannot provide you with slides for now, I just want to tease your mind about some of these things and give you a reading assignment about the components of the or overview of the male reproductive system. Do that so that once we actually I also come in with my slides and with my lecture, you understand it better, and then also be able to ask questions, and then you also be able to relate what I will discuss with what you may have also read. So forgive me, I'm unable. I'm still in the car. I'm trying to control myself as much as possible, and then give you this overview, and then also to give you this reading assignment. Don't think that you know about the male reproductive system. You don't know. What you know is just probably too basic. Do proper reading on the male reproductive system, the overview of it. Get some more information about the functions of the various organs and tissues. For example, if you're talking about even the penis. Normally, when you talk about the male reproductive system, a lot of people limit it to probably the penis. Even if it's the penis, what are the tissues in the penis? What makes the penis erect? These are the areas you have to understand within andrology, because in andrology, you have to, we're talking about the diseases that also affect the reproductive system. And one of the common diseases now is about erectile dysfunction. Okay, so you must understand that within andrology, you have to study erectile dysfunction. To be able to study erectile dysfunction, you have to know how erection in the first place even takes place. what causes erection to take place. You understand? So that if it is no more functioning very properly, or there's erectile dysfunction, then you should have known that, okay, you should get ABC to get it erect. Once erection is not taking place, then probably this may be the cause. Understand? All right. So this is what I want you to do to help me to also to help you. You are going to have, and remember this, like I said, this is a course. You'll be giving reading assignments. Okay. And the reading assignments, as we do the lectures, if you have actually read, when asked questions, I'm sure that whenever I mention the name and say, probably, how long is the epididymis? I'm sure ordinarily you know that the reproductive system also have epididymis, but I'm sure that you need to read further to know how long is the epididymis. And otherwise, you just say that it is epididymis. It is important to know all this because, like I've said, in andrology, you're talking about where disease conditions can occur. And one of the commonest causes of azoospermia, if you do the, what do you call it? If you do the semen analysis, a lot of time you write azoospermia. But sometimes that azoospermia could be due to a spermatogenic dysfunction, where the sperm cells are not being produced at all. Sometimes the sperms are being produced, except that there's obstruction. And one of the commonest areas where there could be obstruction is in the epididymis. So they could have epididymal obstruction. And you remember I said that wherever there's a complexity, wherever a system is complex, it is prone to a default. So you should know that the epididymis is so long, and because it's so long, there is bound to be obstruction somewhere along the line. So there's what we call obstructive azoospermia, for example. When there's obstructive azoospermia, it doesn't mean that the testis is not functioning. It's functioning, except that because the epididymis is so long, at a point it gets obstructed. There's an obstruction, and once there's obstruction, once you produce semen, in the semen there's not going to be any sperm, and you are going to just report as what what do you call it, azoospermia. But you could go further and so that do one or two things and know that this could be due to obstructive azoospermia. If it's due to obstructive azoospermia, the doctor is bound to do further tests to know where the obstruction has occurred. Has it occurred in the epididymis? Has it occurred in the vas deferens? Has it occurred even in the ejaculatory tube? Wherever along that. So as scientists, we have to know more and more. Don't just write reports and leave it like that. You should be able to understand the clinical implication of some of the things that we do and how the clinician could be helped to also manage the patient. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, like I've told you, I haven't gotten to Accra yet. And so I'm unable to give you a full lecture. I'm saying that I'm giving you a reading assignment. Go and do the overview of the male reproductive system. But don't just look at the reproductive system, just the pictures as you see. Take them one by one and then try to get a deeper reading into all the organs, the various organs that make up the reproductive system. And so that once we begin the lectures, you can also ask questions and then also get a better understanding of what you read. I'm sure that this is just an opener. But just to recap, I've said andrology, which is the major topic. Semen is going to be like, remember I said the other day, it's like microbiology and parasitology. So the microbiology is an overview of all the aspects. And then you can now zoom into the parasitology. Similarly, andrology is anything about the male reproductive system, okay? And then how it functions, and then its disease conditions, and even how to treat them. All right. And then I jokingly said that andrology is hold on, please. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank you. I think my facilitator did a good work for me. So you are seeing the male reproductive system as it is, but don't just look at the picture here and then just say, oh, this is the testes, this is the epididymis, blah blah blah. So if you test, like we know, it is an organ. So what are the tissues in it? What are the cells in it? Okay, and then you can even look at the penis. If hey, this penis there, it is okay. Now let me also put it PAD. The difference between PAD as in all capitals PHD, and then P capital small h and then a capital D. Then PAD as in P capital P small h and a capital D, and then PAD as in all capitals PHD as in what's the difference? Who can tell me? Who can tell me the difference between PHD as in capital P, small h, capital D, and then PAD, P, H, and D, all capitals. Somebody should just give me a try. So, Latif, can you go back and show the reproductive system that you show with a big with a huge penis? All right. I saw this. I thought it was huge, and then um, I just have to. We are all adults. Then we need to. We are learning beyond what we should even know. So you see that if you write PAD and you write all capitals, it is not the same thing as PAD as small capital P, small h, and a capital D. The PAD with the small h is the doctor of philosophy, which all of us know. If you make a mistake and want to write PAD and then you write the PAD all capitals, it is a different meaning. If you write this one and anybody understand you, if you're a female, then you are saying that you want somebody with a pretty huge dick. A pretty huge dick is somebody with a huge penis. Understand? So that's what it means. So what I'm saying is that if you write PAD in all capitals, you are attract. You are if you're a female, you say that you want somebody with a huge dick. If you are a man to write it that you are saying that you have a huge this some women like it that way, and then they will just be following you like that. That's just by the way. So in this way, I'm just saying that PAD with a small h is not the same thing as PAD with a capital H. So let's go on. So with this, you just see the labels just like that. But in your reading, I want you to go beyond that. So the testicles, for example, testicles, what is in there? Because it's just an organ. So what is in there? All right. So with epididymis, yes, it is just a coiled tube. How long it is, and why is it that long? And what can happen to a system that has a long tube? If it has a long tube, it is prone to obstruction. All right. And so that is why it normally causes epithelial obstruction. That in many cases results in what we call it, azoospermia. So if you're a scientist, all right, when there's azoospermia, you have to be able to do something to find out, is it obstructive or is it spermatogenic dysfunction, something like that. All right, that's what I'm saying. So please read and read wide, and then um, you get a better understanding. You know that if, let's say, you have done BSc in microbiology, so your BSc medical lab, if you want to go and do MSc or MPhil, you will still go and do the same thing again as you did, but now with more information to it. So what I'm saying is that normally you will have done a lot of our anatomy on the product system, we know it. But now you are going specifically to have a better understanding and knowledge in andrology. And for that matter, it will require that we do an in-depth knowledge, have an in-depth knowledge on the reproductive system, which we know already. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for also understanding my position now. Now, I'm coming to Accra to do my defense for, I did the MLSD just, and I just finished. I'm now coming to do my thesis defense tomorrow. So that's your grandpa for you. So pray for me too, so that tomorrow I will not be frustrated and I can go back peacefully, and then probably on Monday we can do, even though Monday is not part of our regular lecture days. But I think when I get back, we can organize ourselves and do this lecture on Monday with your permission. Thank you. Any question or any suggestion, please? Any question, any suggestion? Yes, sir. Friends, your hands up. Friends, unmute and then speak.
I wish you the very best in your defense tomorrow.
Thank
I
you.
saved to and fro. But I just would like us to be able to have a more definitive date and time so that some of us who have to reorganize ourselves would actually know and be able to plan very well so that if Monday we are meeting, we know how to put it in our schedule. So I guess maybe those details will be provided on the page so that we can plan ahead. Thank you very much
Okay.
and all the best, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm happy that you understood my situation now. And then I'm just saying that tomorrow, God willing, when I finish, I want to go back to Kumasi. So by Monday morning, I should be in Kumasi. And then by evening time, I think I will have taken my rest. And then evening by between 6 to 8, we can have it again, if it is okay for many of you. So this particular lecture is going to be actually given on Monday, if you agree with me. And then I'm saying that I want you to have a take it as a reading assignment, so that the day will not have been wasted. But even that, I think that I've been able to give some information. I don't know whether I managed to do so. there's any other submission?
Grandpa, just for clarification, a colleague spoke right now about the date and the time. I think we made that schedule already. I could see that you were not on the platform when we made that schedule. So it is going to be Thursday. We said Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and the time is 6 to 8 p.m. So this just for the information. You were not around when we made that schedule.
Okay. So I just felt that today, because it appears to be, I don't want to disappoint anybody. That's why we are doing this talk, and then in order to also make up for this lost time, that's why I wanted us to, if God permits, do it on Monday, so that the Thursday, Friday one can still come on. Whatever it is, probably you keep on monitoring the platform. By Monday, God willing, whatever it is, I'll put the information. If it's going to come on, I'll put the information early on the platform so that you can plan. Let's say before 10 a.m., I will have put a definitive decision on the platform so that you can plan for it. So still, let me find out. I'm still there's still a picture of this thing on the it's shown here. And that's a very good picture. And somebody look at it and ask a question. Go ahead in your listening. Since I'm sure you're not going to read, we can spare you. But ask question. If anybody has any question to ask. Then we can call it a day. Thank you for coming, and pray for me as I also pray for you. Thank you. See you on Monday. God willing.